Hello, Mr. Lang, and welcome to your private tour of Mary and Jim's ranch. We're out in Genoa, Illinois. On the right side, we just passed those mailboxes. That's where we have to go to pick up our mail, and that's where we got to drop our garbage off. Right now, we're driving down a one-lane gravel road that does not get taken care of by the city, so we all have to pitch in. A few people live down here to keep up on these things. As we progress a little farther, this is what Mary affectionately calls the scary lane, because it gets very narrow, very, very dark at night, and as we come through here it's a little bit rough, and the bushes kind of overtake the lane a little bit. You see them hitting the truck window, and it's not a place where Mary would walk down at night by herself, not because there's any danger, just because it's dark and scary. Anyway, if we were to get to the end of this lane and take a left, there'd be a couple houses all the way down to the end of another lane, but we're going to take a right here. As we've been driving, our property is on the right side, and as we take a right here, on the left side there's a farm field that gets planted with corn or beans each year, but it's great to be able to just look out. If we look out a picture window, we get a great view of the field, or if we could sit outside there too. The house itself is a very small house. It's a brick house, so it's on a good foundation, won't get hit by wind too bad or the big bad wolf. Again, this is the field that we look out of through our picture window. Right there's a tree where the kids used to love to sit up and just sit there and eat berries all day. On the side of the house here, we generally plant a wildflower garden, hoping they'll come in. We've got a great variety of birds there, including some wild turkeys that seem to show up the last couple of springs. In the back of the house, there's some spectacular maple trees that offer great shade. Again, another great place to sit is that swing, and we like to sit there and overlook the garden. We rototilled up this area and decided to plant a nice grass area that we're going to keep free from any of the animals and make a nice, clean, safe place for picnics and, more importantly, for Olivia to be able to play away from the animals, and maybe put a swing set in there. Just off the property, there's a pond we used to call the Drowning Pond. Right now it's kind of covered with a bunch of green leaves and seeds from the trees, but the kids just go down there and catch frogs and tadpoles and bring them back, and just had a lot of fun. Down this lane is where those other houses would be, so you can see we're really remote and private. This lane here is how Mary generally comes in, the road we usually use. It's a little bit less scary and a little wider and less trees. Of course, we have our chickens, and we have 4 hens right now, and then we just today picked up 6 more baby chicks. They're 1 day old, and so we'll add those to our collection here, and they can come in and out as they please. There's a nesting box, and we generally get an egg a day from each chicken. I think there's probably half a dozen eggs in there right now. This is the outside area where the chickens can come out and get their fresh air and walk around, and inside they can roost up in the rafters. This is me standing on the roof overlooking the ranch and the cornfield in the other direction. This you can see is the pasture, which has been a little bit denigrated by the drought, but it will come back and get green and plush again as the drought ends. We have a 6-stall stable that you saw there on the right. We've actually held up to 8 horses in there because we divide some things up sometimes. We had 10 horses on the property at one time. Right now you can see our garden. To the right is the lettuce, then there's asparagus. Beautiful basil, great pepper plants, nice variety. There's broccoli, there's cauliflower, there's zucchini, there's Brussels sprouts there, there's some strawberry plants, there's carrots right in front of us. Green beans were spectacular this year, and the tomato plants are looking real good, starting to get a lot of good red tomatoes right now. Just past the tomatoes are the potatoes, Yukon Gold potatoes, and then we have some melon plants and cabbage. So great, nice variety in the garden, and we just love to work out there together. Here's our horses. This, the one in the mask there is one of the horses that is not mine. We have 2 horses that somebody keeps on our property. The other 3 horses that you saw there do belong to us. And then there's a horse that we're going to zoom in on here. But this shows a little bit of the other side of the property, which has a few more trees on it. Whereas the other side is more open. And these trees, well, there's many trees on the property actually, but there was these 3 absolutely majestic oak trees that just made this absolutely gorgeous canopy, and unfortunately the one in the middle died, so we have 2 trees that kind of look like half a broccoli plants. There's Oscar when he was first born. That was the white Appaloosa that you saw. Anyway, that concludes our quick tour of the Mary and Jim Ranch. We're leaving on the Scary Road. We just get a lot of satisfaction out of sitting outside, enjoying the country air, enjoying the stars, and looking out over wide open spaces, and it's really a pleasure. So, y'all come back now. You hear?